Welcome to we're here to cut through the noise, straight to the knowledge fact. You want to truly well-informed, and today we're doing an in-depth look at some, pretty unique claims. They revolve around something called a bizarre purple X rabbit fat. Our mission here is neutrally extract key insights and frankly surprising facts as a source. We'll guide you through it, helping you understand and you'll hear the claims.
Well, they definitely challenge a lot of the conventional wisdom about diet. So, okay, let's start unpacking this. The source jumps right in, challenging common beliefs about weight. States, point blank, belly fat is not your fault. Pretty direct.
It really is. And what's notable is the immediate critique of, the usual weight loss method. According to this scientist, things we often hear about genetics, hormones, toxins, sleep, even gut health, they're explicitly not the real root cause of slow metabolism or aging.
Right. It dismisses quite a lot there. And it goes further, suggesting that traditional approaches, things like, quote, useless meal plans, probiotics, or just working out, they're often ineffective. Why does the source argue these popular methods fall short?
Well, connecting it to the bigger picture here, the source makes a pretty compelling argument, at least from its perspective. It claims low-calorie diets, and even popular ones like keto or intermittent fasting, can actually trigger what it calls starvation mode. The idea is the body slows metabolism, stores fat, thinks it's starving. And it backs this up, citing a British Medical Journal study. 22,000 overweight people on popular diet. After 6 months, the finding, according to the source, was that nearly all didn't lose weight. And get this, 66% apparently gained more than they started with.
Wow, 66% gained more. That is quite a statistic, if accurate, especially for such a large group. And then the source makes this really interesting claim. It suggests dieting just once can cause a permanent slow metabolism. It cites research from Berkeley University in California for that. And it also brings up a study, I think it was 16 biggest loser contestants, claiming their metabolism was still slower by 500 calories a day months after they stopped dieting.
Yeah, that's a significant figure. And it naturally leads to the question, okay, if diets are presented as problematic, what about exercise? The source tackles that too. It argues the average person burns only about 5% of their daily calories through exercise. As evidence, it points to a University of Louisiana study. Hundreds of overweight women exercising, 1, 2, or even 3 hours a week reportedly showed no difference in fat loss compared to women who didn't exercise at all.
No difference at all. Okay, so the source then kind of wraps up this section by painting the weight loss industry, a $250 billion industry, as profiting from these, perceived failures, suggesting they keep you coming back, right?
Yeah.
It notes that even with more health ads, foods, gyms than ever, things like digestive issues, fatigue, obesity rates, they're at all-time highs. And it throws out this really staggering figure. Americans apparently spend over $111,500 on weight loss attempts in their lifetime. So for you listening, if you've tried a lot of these things, this source is offering a, let's say, alternative explanation for why they might not have worked as expected. Okay, so after criticizing those conventional methods, the source pivots. It introduces what it calls the mysterious real root cause of slow metabolism and it calls them tiny slimming furnaces.
Right, the tiny slimming furnaces, this is where mitochondria come into play, and they're presented as absolutely central here. The source explains them as the power plants of your cells, essential for making energy from food and air. It claims we have trillions of them, powering basically everything, muscles, digestion, even keeping skin young, heart strong.
But here's a key point the source brings up. Apparently, adults have very different amounts of these mitochondria. It mentions a 2006 breakthrough where scientists used some cutting-edge techniques to actually measure the numbers in 1,700 American women and found big variations.
Yeah, and building on that, the source cites a 2016 Harvard study. They went back to those same women a decade later, and they reportedly stumbled onto something pretty remarkable. Every single woman who had low mitochondria numbers 10 years before was now overweight, averaging 44 pounds more fat. But conversely, every woman who started with high mitochondria levels, still slim, toned, healthy, gained no weight.
Wow, that's a stark correlation presented there. No weight gain versus an average of 44 pounds. This study, according to the source, also found that just a small 5% increase in mitochondria correlated with 17 pounds less fat and a 2.5-inch slimmer, plus benefits for blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, skin, even dopamine, feel-good hormone. And what's really striking is the claim that there was zero difference in calories or exercise between the lean and obese groups over years, which reportedly led the researchers to actually coin that term, tiny slimming furnace.
It definitely raises questions about cause and effect, doesn't it? Is it the mitochondria causing the weight difference or something else? The source provides more evidence toward its case, though. It cites a 2017 University of Florida study. This one was on obese mice. They genetically increased the mitochondria count, over 60% fat mass loss in just 8 weeks. And this was, according to the source, on the exact same diet and activity level as control mice. These mice were apparently totally immune to weight gain, even when fed high-fat, high-sugar diets.
Immune to weight gain. That's a strong claim. The source also mentions an American Diabetes Association study. This one looked at 26 pairs of identical twins. Crucially, one twin was obese, the other lean.
Right, identical twins, so genetics are controlled for.
Exactly. And the only difference they reportedly found, the lean twin had 25% more mitochondria, and this correlated to 39 pounds less fat overall and 75% less visceral fat, that dangerous internal fat.
So looking at the bigger picture presented here, the source states that scientists now universally agree, quite a strong statement, that low mitochondria levels trigger not just obesity, but almost all aging-related diseases, things like diabetes, stroke, memory loss, and it claims this happens up to 10 years before the diseases actually manifest. Conversely, high mitochondria levels are framed as a kind of cheat code to ultimate health, burning fat 24/7 for, quote, clean and pure energy.
It also claims the average American loses about 2% of their mitochondria every year, and that this accelerates after age 35, to the point where many might have half the mitochondria by age 70 compared to their youth. He uses this example. Her cells reportedly had 50% fewer mitochondria than average, and 90% less than people in this place called Ulysses, which the source says explains why she couldn't. What connections does it draw there, specifically between that decline and her struggle?
Well, the implication is direct. Fewer furnaces means less energy burning capacity, slower metabolism, making weight loss incredibly difficult, regardless of diet or exercise, according to this view.
Right. So after setting up this problem, declining mitochondria as the root cause, the source says a research scientist found and this discovery apparently came from investigating a blue zone, specifically Ulysses, a tiny mountain town in Sardinia, Italy. It's known for its incredibly healthy, long-lived residents. They live to 108 times more often than America, apparently with almost no obesity, diet, heart problems.
Yeah, and a key detail the source emphasizes is how the scientists investigated. They didn't just look at what the Ulysses people ate most of. Instead, the focus was on what they ate the least of. And that specific approach, the source claimed, led directly to maki berry, described as an exotic anti-aging superfruit native to that Sardinian region.
Okay, maki berries. And the purple peel, mentioned title. That refers specifically to the peel of this berry. Apparently, it's overloaded with an antioxidant called anthracite, like 100 times more than blueberries, the source says. And the claim is that studies show this peel instantly triggers mitochondrial biogenesis. That's the creation of new mitochondria, which naturally would significantly increase numbers in the cells.
And to give that context, the source points to an Italian study. It reportedly found that Ulysses residents have, get this, a huge 50% more mitochondria than average Americans.
Yeah.
And this is despite eating diets supposedly high in carbs and fat. So according to the source, that's the explanation for their immunity to weight gain, their strong bodies, their longevity. It's the mitochondria.
50% more mitochondria. But it's not just the maki berries, according to this. The scientists apparently found 5 more exotic anti-aging superfoods that supposedly turbocharge the results when combined with the maki.
That's right. It lists them out. First, rhodiola, called a golden herb from Molast and Adapt, said to reduce stress, improve mood, focus, sleep, and also increase mitochondria.
Okay. Then himkaka, a red algae from Ulysses.
Yeah, packed with astaxanthin, claimed to speedily multiply mitochondria and be a powerful antioxidant.
Next is amla, a sour called nature's gut cleanser.
It supposedly improves good bacteria, reduces bloating, and increases what the source terms fat-shrinking mitochondria.
And then one from a different blue zone, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Theobroma cacao.
Right, the raw source of chocolate.
Yeah.
Contains epicatechin, claimed to instantly boost mitochondria, even if you're eating high-fat, high-carb. Plus, support blood flow, heart, arteries, muscles, even libido.
And finally, Chisandra from the Okinawa Blue Zone.
This one is said to boost mitochondria production and also be a natural skin elasticity booster by promoting collagen, preventing loose skin after weight loss, presumably.
So 6 ingredients in total. Mukwi, rhodiola, himkakis, amla, theobroma cacao, and Chisandra.
Exactly. And the natural question is, do they work better together? The source definitely suggests a synergistic effect. It claims these ingredients combine to create a total anti-aging heart, lungs, brain, and digestion supporting solution, going way beyond just dissolving fat.
So building on that, the source describes the creation of a specific product, a capsule called Mitoin, combining these 6 ingredients. And it's claimed to be 4 times more powerful than the original diet of the Ulysses people that inspired it.
And then it shares some pretty compelling personal stories to back this up. The scientist's wife, Jeannie, who apparently struggled with weight for 22 years, she reportedly lost 60 pounds in a week. And this was supposedly while eating her favorite foods, no extra exercise. The scientist himself claims he lost 21 pounds.
60 pounds in a week. White.
Yeah.
The source then moves on to a larger trial. It provides results from 544 volunteers, men and women ages 35 to 85, all carrying extra weight from 14 to over 100 pounds.
Right, a decent-sized group. And the reported outcomes, according to the source, are pretty striking. 96% of them supposedly lost over 24 pounds. The average loss was 36 pounds. Some lost as much as 76 pounds. And critically, all participants are claimed to have doubled or even tripled their mitochondria level, leading, the source says, to a 2 to 3 times faster metabolism.
Doubled or tripled mitochondria. That connects back to the core theory. The source then shares specific testimonials. Nicole losing 39 pounds, Amy 24 pounds, Mike 45 pounds, Nova 50 pounds, Rowan 50 pounds, James 66 pounds. Quite a list.
Yeah, very specific number.
And beyond just the pounds lost, the claims cover a lot more. Improved energy, more confidence, reduced cravings, even things like vanished hip pain, normal blood pressure, better sleep, no more snoring, it says. And interestingly, no loose skin. The skin is described as toned, tight, firm, cellulite-free. Some even reported career promotions linked to their transformation.
That's quite a range of benefits.
And it explicitly states participants were told to eat their favorite foods during this trial. So what does the source attribute all these varied results to? Is it all just down to the mitochondria?
Essentially, yes. The core argument presented is that boosting mitochondria fixes the root cause, leading to weight loss and these widespread secondary benefits: energy, better health markers, skin quality, because cellular function improves across the board.
Right. Okay. So wrapping things up, the source essentially presents a clear choice for you. You can continue down the path of traditional weight loss method, which it portrays as often frustrating and ineffective. Or you can embrace what it calls this new loophole, specifically targeting mitochondria.
Yeah, and it brings up a crucial point here about knowledge. What's the value of knowing this information if you don't apply it? The source really emphasizes that this knowledge, as presented, is meant to empower you, the individual, to break free from the, quote, prison of belly fat and achieve a new you.
It pretty freedom gill, ults long cap. So reflecting on all this, what does it all as you navigate your own well-informed about these different, and here's a final thought, provocative. If our bodies truly have tiny slimming side, and if their numbers vary so much, what does that imply about how we about our, even those moments where nothing's happened? We encourage you to reflect, dive for your own, and what really influences